Parkinson?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the prescription?
Yes, of course.
Mrs. Eve Lippert. Address? Not given. Issued at the Medical Center Hospital. We can check her. But she didn't get this.
No, I gave her this. You can see the words could look alike.
But what will happen if she takes that stuff?
She'll die, but you'll find her. You'll find her in time.
We'd better.
A New Breed. Tonight's episode, To None a Deadly Drug, starring Leslie Nielsen, with special guest stars Gary Merrill, Barbara Baxley, Simon Oakland.
A woman's life depended on police efficiency, and speed was of the essence. The Los Angeles Police Department Patrol Bureau decided to ask for the cooperation of the fluid, high IQ, 80-man Metropolitan Squad. The watch commander of this elite squad, Lieutenant Price Adams, a Los Angeles native and graduate of UCLA, left at once to check with a doctor who had issued the prescription. With him was his partner, Joe Huddleston, 27, science major from Stanford, a wide knowledge of crime detection. Police officers of the new breed, who were fighting time to save a woman's life.
There we are. Mrs. Eve Lippert.
What's the trouble, Doctor?
Petit mal seizures.
What's that?
Nervous disorder.
Is it serious?
In simple form, no.
What are the symptoms?
Very often, some form of tic. And sometimes a blackout, which can last from 5 to 30 seconds.
Blackout, you mean she faints?
Just stops. Stops walking or talking, whatever she's doing. And doesn't know anything about it after.
This ditoxin, it wouldn't do her any good, would it?
Ditoxin doesn't do anyone any good unless they really need it. It's highly toxic. A full therapeutic dose is very nearly a lethal dose. The use of ditoxin has to be precisely controlled.
How many doses could this woman take before it might kill her?
Well, there's a human element. Some people are more tolerant than others. If she's average and takes it 3 times a day, that's 4 days. In her case, probably less. She wasn't very robust.
What'd she look like?
Pretty woman?
Well, limit the field a little bit, Doctor.
Yeah. Blonde. Age, 28. 5'4", 110 pounds.
Well, finding a blonde, pretty woman with a nervous disorder shouldn't be too hard, especially when we have her address.
I hope not.
As no telephone was listed in the name of Eve Lippert or her husband, Price Adams and Joe Huddleston went direct from the hospital to the West Los Angeles address.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
You a tenant?
No, I own the joint. Name's Pascal.
We're looking for Mrs. Lippert.
Don't live here anymore. I keep forgetting to change it.
Where are the Lipperts living now?
Don't know.
Did they leave a forwarding address?
No.
We have to locate her. Her life may depend on her.
How come?
A druggist made a mistake in a prescription. He gave her something that could kill her if she goes on taking it.
Well, that's tough.
You may be able to help us.
Oh, sure. Anything I can do? Come on in.
Yeah, well, they're choosy, you know. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, if they go out with you and your friends, it's because I know you. Yeah, well, they're doing me a favor. You know, you're friends of mine. Yeah, well, so maybe there's a favor you can do for me in return, right?
I'm a bachelor.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Are you guys wanting something cold, hot?
No, thank you.
You read a lot, Mr. Pascal. Shakespeare or Voltaire?
No, they're not mine. Karl Lippert asked me to store those for him.
What's Lippert's job?
Well, he was a school teacher.
Teacher, huh?
Well, he had been, but he got into some trouble, and he was dismissed.
What kind of trouble?
I don't know.
You know the school?
No.
Oh, never mind. We can find out about that.
Why did he leave his books with you?
Well, he left to look for a job. He didn't want to truck a load of books along with him.
Is that a teacher's job?
I don't know. I think he was just about ready for any kind of job.
Karl Lippert had indeed been ready for any kind of employment. He had taken a job bartending at a cafe in Venice near the ocean.
All right, Carl. Thought you were going to let me do a double shift.
Give me 5 minutes and I'll take over.
You're a busy girl.
I hate packing.
Had to do so much of it lately. Well, I hate to have your mother see the extent of your wardrobe.
She'd be more worried if I came home in furs.
You'll have them.
I married a teacher. Didn't expect a plushy life.
Plushy.
Brought yourself home some goodies?
Some cheese and liver sausage.
Oh, Carl. You're going to live for 2 weeks on sandwiches.
I'll survive.
I shouldn't be going away.
Now, don't change your mind now, honey.
You want to be alone?
I've got to think.
I stop you from thinking?
I feel so guilty all the time.
Well, you shouldn't feel guilt.
Eve?
You should have more confidence in yourself.
Eve, honey. That's the second time today.
Oh. Oh, no.
Look, sweetheart, don't you know when it's happening to you? You better have some more of this stuff. This is the reason that you've got to go home. You've just got to rest. You've just been worrying too much the last few weeks. Now, you just lie down a while, and I'll come in when I can.
Yeah, you go ahead. You're late.
Now, you're gonna be all right. Yeah?
Carl? Can you talk? The police were just here. They wanted your wife.
Eve. Why Eve?
It doesn't matter why, but you know what'll happen if they pick her up.
Well, what do I do about it?
Well, I'll tell you what to do about it. Get out tonight. Go to a motel.
What motel?
Well, there's one called the Dawn The Dawn. It's on Carlton. You go there. There's a little cafe across the street from the motel. I'll meet you there tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Don't worry about it. I'll have something worked out. Yeah. Okay.
In the headquarters of the modern, efficient Los Angeles Police Department, an all-out effort was in progress to locate the missing woman. A want and record had been run on both Mr. and Mrs. Lippert with negative results. Neither had a police record. An all-points bulletin had been made. One thing more could be done. Through press and radio, the civilian population of the city could be asked to cooperate. In a few hours, several million people would be looking for Mrs. Lippert and her husband.
Please communicate with the Los Angeles Police Department, Madison 60799.
He said Eve Lippert. Oh, why can't they be quiet? Did you hear it, Matt?
I didn't get the name.
Eve Lippert, I'm sure it was. That's the other bartender's wife, isn't it?
Well, look, okay, they'll repeat it.
Well, listen next time.
24 hours later, there was no lack of answers to the broadcast appeal. All of them were relayed to Lieutenant Adams' desk and were thoroughly investigated by Sergeant Vince Cavelli, age 35, L.A. City College psychology major, expert marksman, ex-Marine, and Officer Pete Garcia, 26, a linguist and electronics expert.
Anything?
No, nothing. Lieutenant Adams? Yes, we are still looking for her. Who's speaking? Mm-hmm. And what's the address? Very good, thank you. We got something. Karl Lippert worked as a relief barman at a place called Chez Jay's in Venice. He left there late last night with his wife and hasn't returned. Here, Vince. You and Pete take this, will you? Right. Hello, Lieutenant Adams. Yes, we would like to speak with you, Mrs. Duke. Yes, what's the address? Uh-huh. All right, well, we'll be out there in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
Another lead?
Girl's mother. Let's take this one ourselves, Joe. Gotta move before I take root here.
Signed off at 9:30. When did he leave after that?
Well, let's see now. He went out to his pad. That's right alongside here when he finished his shift. And, about 20 minutes later, someone or other saw him get in his car with his wife.
That would be before 10.
Yeah, just about before 10.
The special bulletin wasn't broadcast until 10.
Then he didn't hear it.
On his car radio, maybe.
What make of car did he drive?
It's an old Plymouth. I don't know the year.
Did he say where he was going? Give any reason for taking off like that? Phone call or anything?
I don't know if he got any phone call. I told you I wasn't here. Harry, were you here last night when Carl was on?
Me? I'm always here.
Did he get any call?
Yeah. One, a few minutes after he came on.
Did you overhear any of the conversation?
The telephone's way down there. I couldn't have overheard him if he'd have been Mario Lanza.
We'd better take a look at his room. Mind showing it to us?
Oh, sure thing. Straight out. Here. The guy who owns this place got his finger in everything.
You better draw me another beer first.
On the department.
Nice cops they're bringing onto the force nowadays.
And you say this is your daughter, Mrs. Duke?
She's much thinner now, but that's to be expected.
We'd like to borrow it.
I don't want you to take the frame here. I'll take it out. I suppose I'll get it back covered with fingerprints.
I know, ma'am. We policemen are taught to be very careful where we leave our fingerprints.
When did you expect your daughter, Miss Duke?
She said she'd be here soon after breakfast.
And you haven't heard from her all day?
No, but that's the new generation. Selfish.
Well, maybe she's too ill to come.
She's not too ill to telephone, surely.
I hope not.
Or get that husband of hers to telephone. I thought she'd do better for herself. Marry a professional man like her father.
Teaching is a profession?
Well, it doesn't rank with medicine.
Some countries.
I'm talking about America, naturally. But he's not even a teacher anymore.
Yes, we checked his record, Mrs. Duke.
Then I needn't try and hide anything. You can imagine how ashamed I was.
Well, I guess he was behaving according to his principles.
Principles? Fighting the whole school board because they expelled that boy. What would any decent school do when a pupil's father is sent to jail?
Hello, Mother.
Well, it's about time you called, Eve.
Here, let me talk to her.
She hung up.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, Carl, I have to tell Mother I'm not coming home.
I told you not to talk to anyone.
Why? Just tell me why. Now, why can't I talk to Mother?
The police might question her.
Why?
Felix Pascoe says the police are looking for you.
Well, why should the police be looking for me?
For only one reason. To ask questions.
About what?
About me.
Carl, have you done something?
I was a fool. There was a warehouse, and I thought I'd get hold of some money.
You stole some money?
No, the night watchman heard us. We didn't get anything.
Carl, you did this for me, didn't you?
When you were ill, I didn't think I could afford the best treatment.
And we're running from the police because you think I'll tell them.
You're the only one that can get me into trouble.
Oh, Carl.
One thing I've proved, principles don't pay. Now, do me one favor, would you please? Just stay here and don't try to phone again.
All right. Where are you going?
I'm going to get some sandwiches.
Don't be gone long.
No, I won't be gone long. Cup of coffee, please.
Hey, would you see if you can get the station for me? There's a ball game on tonight, and I'm off thumbs.
Stretch position. We interrupt the program to repeat a police bulletin. Would anyone knowing the whereabouts of Mrs. Eve Lippert, believed to be traveling in the Los Angeles area with her husband, Karl Lippert, please communicate with the Los Angeles Police Department, Madison 60799. Mrs. Lippert is in possession of medicine issued to her in error. It contains a dangerous drug which could cause her death.
Does up along the first baseline. Swan comes down. Think they'd have found that woman by now.
Where you going? Matter, am I late or something? Coffee, black, honey. Listen, how you feeling?
You heard that police bulletin?
Yeah, I heard it.
The police only want Eve because something's wrong with the medicine.
No matter what they want her for, they're liable to find out more than they should.
Eve doesn't know anything about the night watchman.
Swan off the rubber now. Checking both runners. Now he straddles the rubber.
She knows we were together. I don't like somebody walking around that could send me to the gas chamber.
If I hadn't come in here, I wouldn't have heard that bulletin until it was too late.
I just thought it'd be an easy way out.
That would be murder. Well, no more medicine.
Okay. Only don't tell her about it. And don't tell her why the police want her. Just keep her away from them.
I'll go that far.
Now, look, the car you're using is dangerous. I brought you another one.
Where do we go now?
I got it all arranged. One place no one's gonna pick her up, and that's at sea. I got a boat from a friend of mine. It's called the Scotty. This is the marking, 3399. Now, you park your car in the public parking lot on the beach near the pier in Santa Monica. And Freddie, you know Freddie, he'll row you out to the boat.
I don't know how to run a boat.
Don't worry about it. I'll join you when I think it's safe enough.
How long do we have to stay at sea?
I don't know. Maybe as long as your wife's alive.
Hey, Wally Moore just hit a home run. How about that?
Thank you, honey.
extravagant. We could have had a sandwich in the motel. What made you change your mind?
You deserve something. More than I can give you. Hasn't been much of a life for you, has it?
Well, it's not over. I'm an optimist.
Eve? Eve?
My husband came home one night with blood on his clothes.
Did you ask for something?
No, thank you. Eve, let's go.
Oh, let's stay here a little while longer.
No.
It's much more pleasant than in the motel. Will you please tell me why you're angry?
You mean you don't know what you said in that restaurant?
Another one of those seizures?
You said your husband came home with blood on his clothes. When did I come home with blood on my clothes?
The night you went out with Felix Pascal. When you came home, I noticed spots on your sleeve.
You didn't say anything about it then.
What happened that night?
Pascal killed the night watchman. Now do you see why I have to keep you away from the police?
Do you think I'd tell?
If you had one of those seizures when they were questioning you, and you said what you said in that restaurant...
I can be cured. I've been cured before.
Don't take any more of that stuff.
But the doctor says that...
You can take too much.
Too much. When your safety depends on it.
Back to the new breed.
Early morning of the third day was 8 hours nearer death for Eve Lippert.
Eve? Eve?
I've been sick all night.
I'll lie down again. It's still early.
My heart is beating so fast.
Look, maybe I can get you something. Some coffee, maybe.
All right.
Here, drink this. We've got to leave soon.
You said it was still early.
We're going to get away before the morning traffic. It's safer that way.
I don't think I can walk to the car.
Look, I'll help you.
I've got to get to a doctor again.
Later.
Say, you been here all night?
Feels like it, Vince. Feels like it.
Phone's going to be busy this morning.
Yes, that's why I came in early. Lieutenant Adams. What motel was that? Dawn Motel? And who am I speaking to, please? And what names did they register under? Mr. and Mrs. Ken Lester. Lester. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Carney. Someone will be right out there. Wow. Motel owner thinks he recognized the Lipperts.
I gather they registered under another name.
Mr. and Mrs. Ken Lester, same initial. Checked out early this morning.
They're on the run for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks that way. Let me see that registration card, will you?
What have you got?
Cavalli brought it back. It's a time card from the bar that Lippert worked at. All the barmen have to sign them when they come in on duty. Look at that. The handwriting's the same. Did you notice anything furtive about the Lippert's behavior?
I don't know about furtive, but he stopped her from using the telephone.
What time was that?
About 7:30 last night.
That's the same time she called her mother.
After they checked in, did either of them go out again?
Well, first he went out alone. He didn't use the car.
Nowhere.
There are very few places you could walk to from here, but there's a cafe across the road.
All right, we'll check that. Thank you for your help.
They make the dials on these radios too small nowadays. You move them just a smidgen, you're in another country. You know what I mean? So this guy, he helps me get the station I want. There was a ball game on. But when I got his coffee for him, he was listening to the bulletin about the woman who was given the wrong medicine.
He just drank his coffee and went out again?
No. Another guy came in, somebody he knew. They sat over there talking.
What did the other man look like?
He was about so tall. You know, kind of seedy looking. Heavy set with a dark complexion. He had a 5 o'clock shadow and dark bedroom eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Despite the newspaper and radio coverage, by noon on the third day, Eve Lippert still eluded the police. It was evident now that either she or her husband wanted to elude them.
Oh, Price. How about this man that Lippert met in the cafe? The waitress gave a fair description of Lippert's former landlord.
Yeah, I just ran a wanton record on him. There's nothing on file. Communications is checking with Washington.
Well, if Lippert heard the radio bulletin in the cafe, at least he's had a chance to stop his wife from taking this ditoxin by now.
Not going on that assumption. Lippert's the one who heard the bulletin, not his wife.
And there's only one other assumption.
Yeah, that's right. If he's not stopped her from taking it, then he's deliberately letting her die.
Driving carefully so there would be little chance of attracting attention, Karl and Eve Lippert arrived at the pier in Santa Monica and, following Felix Pascal's instructions, entered the parking lot where they were to meet Freddie, the boy who would take them to the boat. As Pascal had promised, the boat was waiting for them.
Something to eat.
Why did you run away?
I've got to get to a doctor.
Where did you expect to find a doctor around here?
Oh, Carl, help me.
Look, if you'd stop doing these silly things, it's impossible.
Carl, I'm afraid of you. Suddenly, today, I'm afraid of you.
Look, honey, it's all part of the sickness. The doctor said there'd be times like this.
I looked up at you up there. You look like a stranger.
No stranger, honey. Look, let's get back to the car. Look, all you need is some rest. As soon as we get on that boat, you'll get plenty of rest.
Here's the FBI report on Pascal. He's got a record in other states going back to his delinquent boyhood.
He's a four-time loser. That makes him dangerous. Well, he's got a figure in this somewhere. Let's go.
Well, the police can't find her. What can I do?
Well, maybe you know more than the police.
Not about the Lipperts.
Pascal, Mrs. Lippert could die tonight, tomorrow, anytime now if she's not found. If you have any idea where she is and you don't tell us, you'll be responsible for her death.
You guys need a patsy, huh?
Don't get smart.
Oh, well, I'm not getting smart. But Eve Lippert to you is just a name. To me, she's a person. Sure, I'd like to save her life if I could.
You know the Don Motel?
No.
Where were you yesterday at 8 p.m.?
Well, certainly no place like the Dawn Motel.
Where were you?
Down on the porch, listening to the ball game.
We can check that.
Well, I know you can check it. Wait a minute.
Look, he's an old friend.
Hey, Freddie.
Hey, look, give me 5. I'll call you right back, huh?
Hey, Freddie, these gentlemen want to know how he spent last evening.
Listen to the ball game.
On the porch.
What time?
It, started at 8 o'clock. Yeah, we heard the whole game.
There you are.
Okay, thanks.
If I hear anything from the Lipperts, I'd be glad to call you.
Do that.
Easily.
Yeah.
Pascal was playing fingers on the back of that chair. The kid got the message.
I know.
Why don't we take Pascal back to the cafe and let the waitress identify him?
Because he's gone that route before. If there's any reason why he wants that woman to die, he'll say nothing until it's too late.
Just for about half an hour, I'd like to go back to the old police methods.
Yeah. Exactly how you feel. I'm going to put him under surveillance. Maybe if he thinks he's safe, he'll lead us to her.
And if he doesn't?
And she'll die.
Another day, and the picture of Eve Lippert was no longer on the front page. Calls from people who thought they had seen her dwindled to a fruitless trickle. Lieutenant Adams continued to sift reports, but time was increasingly against him.
They found Lippert's car in a parking lot, but no lead.
Anything to tell how long it's been there?
Nothing.
Lieutenant Adams. Yes, Connolly. All right. Okay.
What's with Pascal?
Nothing. He's sitting out on his front porch with the funnies and a can of beer.
Prince Cavelli made sure Pascal didn't suspect he would be followed. He relayed the news ahead that Pascal had left the house and was traveling southwest. He identified the vehicle he was driving. The message was picked up by another Metro team 2 blocks away. As Pascal drove by, headed southwest toward the ocean, completely unaware that he was under surveillance, the second Metro team followed him. They radioed ahead to other Metro teams, their location and direction. All messages were heard in the Metro squad room.
Mary Sam 1 to Mary Sam 8. Message received over and out. I think the coast.
Hope he isn't just out to take in some fresh air.
Let's get in behind him.
When Felix Pascal arrived at Santa Monica, the changeover of pursuit cars had been made 3 times. The cycle was completed, with Cavelli and Garcia moving in as he parked at the pier. Cavelli immediately contacted Price Adams by radio and was instructed to stand by until Adams' arrival, as any premature move might alert Pascal and cause him to avoid contact with the Lipperts.
How's the patient? Sick.
Could be Lippert, but I don't want to take a chance of scaring them off course. They may be heading right for her.
She's unconscious.
Come on, we got work to do. Come on! Now you go back there and drop the stern line, then go forward and drop the bow line when I tell you. Great day for a cruise. Don't be so cheerful. Why not? Everything's turned out great, hasn't it?
she is. She's on board. Let's go.
Medicine. It isn't on the shelf. I need it.
Well, tell her where you put it.
You told me you'd leave it where I could reach it.
Don't keep the little lady waiting. What are you doing?
We can't get any more, Carl.
I don't think it was doing you any good.
I feel so weak.
Why don't you go lie down?
Going to die. You know what the bow line is? Go secure it. Pick her up. I heard something fall in the water. I didn't hear anything. Stop the boat! Come on, you! More than a couple of hours.
This one could make it if he wanted to.
Felix Pascal lived long enough to confess to the murder of the night watchman. Karl was taken to Medical Center Hospital emergency in critical condition.
Night watchman was dead. I didn't know Pascal even was carrying a gun. I didn't know. I just was trying to make a better life for Eve. Now she's dead, too. I was letting her die. I didn't want that. I didn't want Eve to die.
Okay. Lippert.
Here. Open your eyes.
Eve.
Are you all right?
He's going to be.
I deserve to die.
It wasn't your fault. Pascal was too strong.
Eve, don't leave me alone.
No, I won't leave you.
Because of Felix Pascal's dying confession, Karl Lippert was not charged with murder. After serving a minimum sentence, he will have the opportunity to build a new career. The Lippert's second chance at life was due to the alert action of the Metropolitan Squad, men of the new breed.